Hello, this is Lacquerography and this is my haul for February 2024's polish pickup. The theme this month was wild animals. If you're excited to see the 8 polishes that I got in this order, give this video a like. Let's take a look at the 8 polishes from Wild Animals Month. The first item up is by Polished for Days. And this is an item called Soft Focus and it's in the color Peach Fuzz. So this item is described as a flattering peach base coat, and it's inspired by the Pantone color of the year for 2024, which is Peach Fuzz. Here is this polish swatched out on my swatch wheel, as all of them are here, in 2 coats with a regular glossy top coat. In this case, the glossy top coat that I've used on all of my swatches is by KB Shimmer Clearly on Top. And here is Polished for Days, Soft Focus in Peach Fuzz against my skin tone. Now when I was applying this polish on the swatch wheel, I was taken by how flawless the formula was. In just one coat, it went on the swatch wheel so evenly that I think this is going to be a polish that I can use in 1 coat, in 2 coats, perhaps even 3 coats. The reason why I decided to purchase this from Polish Pickup this month is because I already own a Soft Focus base coat. It's a polish that I ordered directly from Polished for Days a while back, and I've actually never used it as a base coat. I've only ever worn it as a standalone polish. I'm really encouraged by the way that this swatch went. I think it is going to be performing in a very similar way to the other one that I've purchased, but it's a much lighter and springier colorway. I can see myself absolutely wearing this as a standalone polish, but I do look forward to giving this one a go as a base coat as well. So this polish is by Polished for Days, and this is their VNL or Visible Nail Line Blurring Base Coat, Soft Focus in Peach Fuzz. This second polish up is also by Polished for Days. This one is called Rarest of them all. This is a peachy nude base with a sunset shimmer shifting coral, gold, yellow. And the shimmer here is described as being an iridescent shifting shimmer. This polish was inspired by the Iberian lynx, the most endangered feline species. This one here is Polished for Days Rarest of them all, swatched out in 2 coats with a glossy top coat on my swatch wheel. And here it is against my skin tone. That shimmer really is quite prominent. It's very much a tone-on-tone kind of shimmer. And the reason why I picked this one up was because I can see this one as being a year-round work-appropriate polish. I can see myself pulling a polish like this one all seasons and for any type of occasion, whether it's a professional occasion, a serious occasion, a festive occasion, or just because. I think this is one I'll get a ton of use out of. I'm also curious to see how a polish like this might work on top of a blurring base coat, kind of like this one. In the first coat, this polish was really quite sheer. The second coat, I think that the prominent shimmer really did act to create nearly full coverage, although I won't really know until it's on my actual nail. In a single coat, this really was quite a sheer polish, but it had lovely even coverage, so I think it would be an interesting candidate to wear over top of a visible nail line blurring base coat, much like the Polished for Days in Peach Fuzz that I purchased here. In 2 coats though, the very prominent shimmer I think would act to cover a lot of visible nail line, perhaps not all of it though. So I really won't know until I get it on my own nail to be sure. But this one is beautifully shimmery and a great neutral. This one is by Polished for Days, Rarest of them all. This next polish up is by Stella Chroma. And it's called A Blue-Footed What? This polish is described as a medium blue crelly with a scattering of gunmetal gray and silver hollow flakies, and a bright blue-green purple at extreme angles shimmer. And this one was inspired by the blue-footed booby. Actually, I think I can see the blue, green, and purple shimmer right here in the bottle. Here is Stella Chroma's blue-footed What, swatched out in 2 coats on the swatch wheel with a glossy top coat. And here it is against my skin tone. I'm loving the shimmer of this one. I think this one is a polish that could really come alive in the natural sunlight. I can see myself wearing this polish quite a bit in the summer, also in early fall. This one has quite a brightened denim kind of look. I'm a teacher, so I'm always thinking of kind of back to school polishes and things like that. And I could see myself wearing this one in early fall. For me, school starts back in early September, so I could see myself wearing this one mainly in the summer, but in the earliest days of fall as well as a September type polish. Also perhaps in the winter time, there is with that sparkle and that shimmer quite an iciness about it, even though the blue itself is quite brilliant. Perhaps even in the spring too. I think that this polish might surprise me in terms of how versatile it is. It's a really beautiful one. Compared with the previous 2 polishes too, this was quite a decadent formula. The other 2 are actually intended to be a little bit more sheer and light, one being a base coat and the other one being a little bit of a sheerer shimmer polish. But this one had quite a creamy texture that I didn't quite expect. It wasn't a full cream, so the idea of being called a crelly is actually quite accurate. But yeah, very impressive formula. It applied beautifully in only 2 coats. I think that's all I'd ever need. I think that I'm gonna find that this one is a surprisingly versatile polish that I'm adding to my collection. This polish is by Stella Chroma, a blue-footed What? This next polish up is by Garden Path Lacquers, and this one is called Quackpth. This polish is described as having a grape jelly base packed with purple holographic microglitter and green-blue shifting aurora shimmer. This polish was inspired by the maker's favorite snooty Animal Crossing character, Mallory, and her catchphrase. Here is Garden Path Lacquer's Quackpth, swatched out in 2 coats with a glossy top coat. And here it is against my skin tone. It's amazing that indoors here in the evening, it's kind of a stormy, rainy day today, but it's amazing that this polish is appearing so shimmery for me indoors. I think this one would really come alive beautifully in natural sunlight. I do also find it interesting with all these microglitter that are packed in this polish, it has a perfectly smooth finish with the regular glossy top coat. I think that wearing this one with a glitter smoothing top coat would be entirely optional. It would provide an extra plumpness to this polish, and I guess work out any of that very subtly remaining texture if you're sensitive to that. But honestly, I don't feel any remaining texture at all with just 1 coat of KB Shimmers clearly on top, used as a top coat here. So this gorgeous polish is by Garden Path Lacquers, Quackpth. This next polish up is by Monarch Lacquer. And this one is a magnetic polish, and this one is called Glasswing Butterfly. I do have just a free with purchase magnetic one from Starly that I'm going to try out here. So a really nice sparkly magnetic effect right here, even in the bottle. This polish is described as a rosy magnetic reflective polish that is loaded with red to orange Morandi shimmer. So that's something I'm not really familiar with, but it is highly shimmery and sparkly. So I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this one. Here is Monarch Lacquer's Glasswing Butterfly, swatched out in 2 coats with a glossy top coat. And I did use that same magnetic wand that was free with purchase from Starly to use just the cat eye effect. I held the magnet underneath this swatch wheel on the second coat for about a minute, and then again when I applied just the regular top coat for about a minute. And here it is against my skin tone. So a really beautiful, neutral looking polish. It's rosy, it has a bit of a smokiness to it as well. I think that's caused by that magnetic pull there. I think this is another one that the magnetic effect combined with the reflective glitter, I think we'll really have this one coming alive in all kinds of different lighting. This one was quite responsive to my magnet, so I think I'll have a lot of fun playing around with different types of magnetic effects and then seeing how that looks out in natural sun. So that polish is by Monarch Lacquer, Glasswing Butterfly. This next polish up is by Dom Nail Polish, and this one is called High Quality Nudis, and this one is actually another magnetic polish. I don't seem to see any sort of an indicator on this bottle, but this one is also magnetic, and I actually bought it specifically for that reason. And it's because this polish looks a little something like this. What drew me to this polish was that sort of denim coloration effect. This one screams September and fall all over to me. That kind of indigo blue, like the deepest dark wash jeans, and the coppery adornments that you typically see on jeans. This polish is described as having a black jelly base with teal blurple shifting shimmer and a bronze magnetic effect. And it's inspired by the stunning sea slug, aka Nudibranch. Now I actually took the liberty, because I was curious about it, to swatch this polish out twice. Again, 2 coats with a glossy top coat. For the magnetized one, I applied the magnet on the second coat and allowed it to dry for about a minute. And then again, when I applied the regular top coat, and again, I held it for about a minute. Here is High Quality Nudis, unmagnetized. Really beautiful, lush, coppery polish. And here it is magnetized. And it's interesting, on its extreme edge here, you can really see that indigo kind of color showing up. I purchased it especially for September and then into the fall. I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun playing with all different types of magnets as well as magnetic effects to see what kinds of cool results I can get with this really interesting and dramatic polish. Something that's not showing up too well here on camera, and I'm wondering if part of that is because it's dried down and doesn't have maybe the same type of glint that I saw when I was applying the polish, is unmagnetized. I found that there was quite a navy blue twinkle that was happening in that copper base. I don't really see it through here, but I'm wondering if when I take this one out into natural sunlight, if that navy twinkle might be in full effect. That's actually why I decided to swatch it out twice here, to see if that navy blue twinkle, just applied regularly without a magnet, might continue to show up. It doesn't really here, but I'll have fun playing around with it regardless. This polish that I purchased specifically for September and kind of the back to school time, as well as throughout the fall. This polish is by Dom Nail Polish, High Quality Nudis. This next polish up is by Clionadh Cosmetics, and this one is called Hippo. This one is described as having a gray crelly base with medium-sized particle shimmer that shifts pink, red, orange chartreuse. And this one is inspired by Maggie's favorite animal, the hippopotamus. Here is Clionadh Cosmetics Hippo, swatched out on the swatch wheel. And here it is against my skin tone. It's a little bit of a deeper gray base than I really expected. Perhaps that's because I don't really own anything with this type of a colored base, that medium gray kind of color. I love the warmth that this shimmer gives this polish as well. I think this was an interesting, dramatic neutral. This one I don't think is very subtle at all, but I could see myself wearing this one for work. I think this one could still be quite appropriate. I am an elementary teacher, so I think I have quite a bit of leeway in terms of what's deemed work appropriate. But I think even for highly professional activities like parent interviews and things like that, I think that I could wear this polish quite comfortably. This shimmer really is wildly interesting, so warm. Again, I look forward to getting this one out into natural sunlight to see this one really twinkle. This polish is by Clionadh Cosmetics, Hippo. This final polish up is by Cadillacquer, and this one is actually a thermal polish, and this one is called Northern Cardinal. Now this polish is described as being a deep red when cold to bright red when warm thermal. And it has fiery red, orange, yellow iridescent flakes, and it's inspired by the Northern Cardinal bird. Here's this polish swatched out on my swatch wheel in its cold state. This is the deep red, nearly black actually, state. And I love the way that in 2 coats, these flakies really do flame within the base. Really cool effect. Here it is in its cold state against my skin tone. Really dramatic depth to this one. I can see myself being drawn to this in the fall and the winter mainly. And I am gonna try attempting, this is some very hot water I just poured out here. I'm gonna attempt to see if I can make this one transition. And yes, it does go quite a bit warmer to a bright orangey red. And there it is. I don't want to drip everywhere, but it is much warmer. It was almost black before, and there it is, much, much warmer. This one is going to be so dramatic and fun, playing around with a polish like this one in all kinds of lighting. Quite vampy actually too, and I love the contrast of those fiery, burning ember type flakes against that warm state base. Very cool. So this thermal polish is by Cadillacquer, Northern Cardinal. So that's it for my 8 polish haul from Polish Pickup for February 2024. I'm wondering, did you shop Polish Pickup for February 2024 for the wild animals theme? If you did, what polishes did you pick up? Do you have any of these polishes? What do you think of them? Leave all your comments and thoughts down below, and we can continue on the conversation long after. Do you enjoy haul videos, or in particular, Polish Pickup haul videos? If you do, please consider giving this video a like. It indicates to me that you're interested in haul videos like this one, in particular, Polish Pickup hauls. And moving forward, I'll try my best month upon month when I purchase from Polish Pickup to produce haul videos like this one. In addition, if you like nail-related content in general, please consider subscribing. I try to release nail-related content as often as I possibly can, and by subscribing, you won't miss out on any of the fun. Thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully I'll see you again in the next one. Take care. Bye.